Dart Skill presents Subtraction 4. In this video, we are going to practice a few problems on subtraction using the method that you usually learn in school. That is, start from the right, the ones place, and keep subtracting one digit at a time. Let's say you want to do 832 minus 96. So you start from the right, but the problem is you cannot subtract 6 from 2 because 6 is larger than 2. So what you do is, you borrow a 10 from this 3. So this 3 tenths changes to 2 tenths. And then 10 plus 2 is 12. So we have a 12 here. That's 12 ones. And then you can go ahead with the subtraction. 12 minus 6 is 6. Move over to the next digit on the left. Now this is 2 minus 9, and you can't do that. So you do the same thing. You borrow 100 from this 8. 800 changes to 700, and then 100 is the same as 10 tenths. So this 2 tenths changes to 12 tenths, and 12 tenths minus 9 tenths is 3 tenths. And finally, 7 minus nothing is the same as 7 minus 0. So we have a 7 here. So the answer is 736. Let's do another one. Let's try and do 4101 minus 2562. Start from the right. You cannot do 1 minus 2. Therefore, you start borrowing. But the digit before it is a 0. So it can lend anything to anyone. So who does this one borrow from? Well, it's the digit before that 0 that's going to lend him something. Now this guy needs to change to 11. In other words, it's at 1. It needs to jump to 11 so that you could go ahead and do 11 minus 2. So it needs a 10. But this guy says, okay, I can lend you something, but then I'm in the hundreds place. So the minimum I can lend you is 100. So these two together decide, okay, we are going to borrow 100. 90 of these 100 will go over here. That's 9 tenths. So the 0 changes to a 9. And then the remaining 10 goes over here. So the 1 changes to 11. And in the process, because this was 100 in all, this changes to a 0. So we have 11 minus 2, so that's a 9. And then we have a 90 or a 9 tenths minus 6 tenths, that's a 3 tenths. And then we have a 0 again. And you can do 0 minus 5. So this 4 in the thousands place has to change to 3. And 1000 goes over to this side. And 1000 is the same as 10 hundredths. So this 0 hundredths changes to 10 hundredths, and 10 hundredths minus 5 hundredths is 500. And finally, 3000 minus 2000 is 1000. So the answer is 1539. Let's do another one. Let's now try and do 15,004. So 004 minus 12,865. And let's now find out how the chain of borrowing happens. Start from the right. You cannot subtract 5 from 4. So this 4 needs another 10 to change to a 14. But then who is going to give him? This is a 0. This is again a 0. So this 5 says, okay, I can lend you, but then I'm in the thousands place. This is the thousands place, right? Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So even if I lend 1, that would mean 1000. Now who's going to take that? Can you take 1000? This guy says, no, I'm in the ones place. I cannot take 1000. I'll overflow. So all three of these come to a pact. They say that, okay, I'm going to take a 900 because I'm in the hundreds place. This guy says, I'm in the tens place, so I'm going to take a 90. In any case, I'm a 0, so I'll need that. and this guy says okay, then I'm going to take the 10. So the 4 changes to a 14. This 0 in the tens place changes to a 9, and this 0 in the hundreds place changes to a 9 again. And this 5 in the process, it has lent 1000, so this changes to 4000. The rest I believe is easy. 14 minus 5 is 9, 9 minus 6 is 3, 9 minus 8 is 1, 4 minus 2 is 2, and then 1 minus 1 is 0. You don't need to write that down. So 15,004, this number was 15,004 minus 12,865 is equal to 2,139. Hope you understand how borrowing happens in subtraction.